Good day everyone, this is Ryan from the Butcher Shop and I'm going to show you today casting the Fleshbag Marauder. This piece was inspired by a painting from a playing card from Magic the Gathering, original artist Pete Ventors. I sculpted it out of wet clay, I sculpted little weapons out of an oil-based clay, Chavant medium, and I molded it out of Rebound 25. Alright, here we go. I'm going to brush some Vaseline on the Plasti Paste 2. Which is the plastic support shell I have here. It's very lightweight, so it's easy to pick up and do slush castings with. Great product. Here I'm putting the silicone mold. It's a platinum silicone back in the support shell, pressing all the keys, making sure they fit in their slots there. And then I'm going to bolt this shut. And then next I'm going to apply a little more Vaseline, and then after that some Easy Release 200 on the inside of all the molds to give some longevity to your molds when casting urethane. And now I'm going to put a thin layer of baby powder on the inside of the molds, which gives the finished casting a matte finish, which grips paint better. The product I'm using today is Smoothcast 300, another Smooth-On brand. It's a bright white plastic when it's set. This product is measured out by 1:1 by volume, or 100A to 90B by weight. It has a 3-minute working time and a 10-minute cure time. And like any of these products, you should always read the MSDS sheet that comes with it, Material Safety Data Sheet. And as you can see, I'm wearing a respirator. So you want to be in a well-ventilated area, wearing proper safety gear. Just stir it very thoroughly when you mix it together, keeping in mind you have 3 minutes to mix it and get it poured into whatever type of mold you're pouring it into. So you got to work fairly fast with it. And this is called slush casting. I'm going to pick up the mold. Luckily, the Plasti Paste 2 is very light in weight. And I'm going to swirl it around. I'm also doing it over a garbage pail because there will be a little bit of spillage. You are going to lose a little bit of product doing this method. You can also add things to this product as well, such as So Strong, highly concentrated pigments. You could also add Urethane to thicken it if you need to have this more paste-like. Just use safety when working with these products. And here it goes. It starts off the semi-clear and then it sets up this bright white. Now I'm mixing a smaller batch, and these are all the silicone molds for the weapons. I'm just pouring them in, squeezing out the air bit, poking them with a stick, and there's also channels I built into the molds for the air to escape. And here we go, round 2. I'm going to build this into about 3 layers, possibly do a thickened 4th layer, any spots I see thin. I'll apply that, though, the thickened layer with a tongue depressor. Yeah, so as you can see, it is a time-consuming process. I'm opening the weapon molds now and pulling out the little bits, and I'm just going to cut off the seam line with an X-Acto blade. If there's any imperfections in any of the pieces, I can just fix it easily with a product called Epoxy Sculpt, which you'll see me use later in the video. Yeah. As for Magic the Gathering, I don't actually play the physical card game, but I do play the digital versions on PlayStation Network, for example. Such inspiring artwork in that game. Great fantasy reference for inspiration. If this feels like it's dragging on a bit, I kind of want everyone to experience the process. As you can see, it takes time. Round 3. Here we go. Whenever casting plastics and urethanes, always wear gloves. Don't get the stuff on your skin. Don't breathe it in your lungs. Over prolonged use, you develop sensitivities to things and allergies. Nasty stuff. Next thing, I want to fill this negative space using a product called Foam-It 3. As you can see, you want to shake the product well before use. You also want to be wearing a respirator with this one. It's a 1:1 by volume and 100A to 87B by weight. This product you can add stuff like So Strong tints to. It expands, I believe, 18 times its original volume, so you get a lot for this. This is also a rigid material, so when it's set, it'll have a hard core in this plastic piece, giving it more strength and having to use less plastic. You have a pot life of 1 minute and a cure time of 2 hours with this product. Also, when using the So Strong tints, a pin drop goes a long way. Yeah, so same as before, just going to slush cast this product around. Just trying to get a nice even coat. There we go, it's rising. You're going to see me take a board here that I drilled 2 holes in, put some Vaseline on it, apply pressure, and now it's set. 2 hours later, I'm cutting away the excess. I chose the So Strong tint red and used a very small amount, because I'm going to be painting this stuff with some reds and pinky tones, and in case there's any thin spots, this tone is going to show through and it's just going to complement the colors I'm working with. Alright, I'm mixing up another small batch of Smoothcast 300, brushing over the surface of the foam, so when it cures, it all becomes one. Now once that was cured, I'm going to unscrew the bolts that are holding the support shell together, the Plasti Paste 2 support shell. And we're going to very gently pry that open. Now you're going to see why I chose to use Rebound 25. It has such great tear strength. When I'm making a part like this that I didn't want a seam, I didn't want to make a 2-piece mold. When you make a 2-piece mold, there's a seam that runs down the middle of the piece. I didn't want that for this. So I wanted a mold that I could slip off. So Rebound 25 has really good tear strength. As you'll see here, I'm going to put a lot of force in this to get this mold off, but if it's built properly, it can take that. It's a great material. I'll teach you guys how to build a Rebound 25 mold in a future video. But yeah, you want these things strong if you want to get multiple castings out of them. This is probably about the 5th casting I've gotten out of this mold, and there's going to be many more to come. Yeah, it's an all-around strong material, and it's also a platinum grade silicone. But as you can see, just take your time, work it around all those crevices and undercuts just very carefully. But once again, this thing was fighting me. It's a strong mold. And there we go. There's the casted piece. Now comes the cleanup work. So as you can see, I'm using my Dremel tool. I just have a drill bit on it. Small. I made sure I picked one that was small enough to fit in all the deeper parts and the crevices of the piece. And yeah, I'm just very carefully using my safety goggles, wearing a dust mask. You don't want to be breathing in those plastic particles. And here's where I'm attaching the little bits of his weapons using a super glue. I'm also using my X-Acto blade to shave down a little bit of the plastic, just so they fit in the holes better. I use the Q-tips to clean up glue drips. Yeah, this part takes a little bit of patience, but it's just to hold it into place for the time being, because we're going to fix it in better with a different material. The Dremel tool is used to clean up air bubbles and little imperfections. As you can tell by the cheesy sound effects, epoxy sculpt is another material I really enjoy using. Yeah, this modeling compound is just easy to work with. I use it to fix any imperfections. You're going to see me use it to fix the scythe he's holding. I'm going to put the little stitches in them. Yeah, it's just all around a great material and easy to detail. Use it to your advantage. But most importantly for this piece, I'm going to use it to reinforce the weapons. You have to mix it 1-to-1. Do not cross-contaminate the containers. I would suggest wearing gloves when working with it. You can use water or 99% alcohol to smooth it down. But it's just really great to fix these pieces. You have about a 2 to 3 hour working window with it though, so you have to get the job done within like 3 hours max. And then it fully cures in 24 hours. It's just a great material. You can build great armatures with it. It's strong. Once it's hardened, it's like a stone. You can grind into it and sand into it and use carving tools, Dremel tools if you need after it's been solidified. But yep, highly recommend using epoxy sculpt for fixing any of these types of castings. And as you can see, I'm just gently pressing into it with my ball stylist sculpting tool. But you can use anything here when it comes to sculpting tools. Either way, use what works best for you as the artist. Tool-wise, that's all subjective. Forgot to mention, when mixing epoxy sculpt, make it one solid color with no marbling. And okay, here's the finished piece, ready for primer and paint, and we'll do that in the next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And I just want to thank everyone so much once again for all the support. Please check out our website, www.thebutchershop.ca. Please click that subscribe button and check out some of the other videos on our channel. Have a wonderful day.